Canadian actor Donald Sutherland has died. He was 88. His son Kiefer Sutherland made the announcement in an online post. He described his father as one of the most important actors in the history of film and that he was never daunted by a role, good, bad or ugly. Donald Sutherland's expansive career stretched from the film MASH to the blockbuster series The Hunger Games. He never retired and worked regularly up until his death. Well, for more on this, let's cross live to Los Angeles, where journalist KJ Matthews is standing by for us. KJ, great to see you as always. So Donald Sutherland had, let's say, some career, very impressive. What's his legacy?
Well, I think his legacy can be summed up best by his son, Kiefer Sutherland. You know, Kiefer called his father one of the most prolific actors in Hollywood and said that he was probably one of the few actors that had such a range of diverse roles. And you know what? I will add to that. I will call him a Renaissance man, a Renaissance actor to be precise. I mean, he's 88 years old. He started acting in the early 60s, meaning that he's been on air, both television and film, for decades. And during that time, there isn't a type of role that he hasn't played. Comedy, drama, thriller. He just did everything. And one of the most enviable things I think about him, if you ask me, is that he had fans from all demographics. Because he did the whole Hunger Games franchise, he brought along a lot of millennials and people who were younger who probably weren't around in the 60s when he first came out. But he also had older films like The Dirty Dozen, which really was a breakout role for him. And he did MASH television series. And just even recently, a couple years ago, he did The Undoing with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. So he really had just an illustrious career, could play any role, and was very lucky. And like you said, a lot of people forgot that he was not American. He's from Canada. So he was a Canadian actor that came over to America and really found his way.
Yeah, certainly a really impressive career and plenty of energy as well throughout, it appears. So if everyone thought Sutherland was so great, KJ, how come he was never nominated for an Oscar?
That is surprising, but remember, he did receive an honorary Academy Award. I think that was back in 2017. But, you know, there are a lot of actors who probably would say the same thing. But yes, not every actor could be awarded an Academy Award just because they have a long history of great roles. And I think looking back today, I'm sure the Academy said, he was one of those people who should have received an Oscar, and I'm hoping and wishing that we could do something next year. So I expect to see them do something next year at the Oscars to honor him. But yes, he is one of those actors that will go down in history that should have received an Oscar award.
KJ, what's the reaction been to his death?
You know, surprisingly, the great actress Carol Burnett was receiving some sort of a ceremony on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today, and they caught up with her, and she was surprised. She had not heard that he had passed away, and she just said, wow, you know, she really loved him in The Dirty Dozen and MASH and all that. He was one of her favorite actors, so believe that. You know, Carol Burnett saying that, so she's reacted. A lot of other Hollywood stars, and of course, the most important Hollywood star would be his son, Kiefer Sutherland, the great actor Kiefer Sutherland, who released a statement basically saying, you know, with a heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. I personally think he's one of the most important actors in the history of film, never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. So, you know, there you have it. One of the most important actors that learned everything in his craft from his father is speaking out as well.
KJ, we're running out of time, but briefly, if you could, he was a man who was also very political. He didn't shy away from politics. Tell us a little bit about that, if you could.
You know, when you look at people who were against the Vietnam War in terms of Hollywood, the first person that comes to mind is Jane Fonda. Yes, she was very actively against it, but many have forgotten that Donald Sutherland was also a very vocal opponent of the Vietnam War during that time alongside Jane Fonda, but it never affected his career. He went on to have really great roles and was acting up until just a year ago. So yes, he was a very political person at one point during the Vietnam War, and then kind of tapered off after that.
KJ, as always, I could chat to you for much longer than we have. Unfortunately, we're out of time there. Entertainment journalist KJ Matthews, thanks.
Thank you.